All right. Hey, I am Dawn Ledet. It is spelled Ledet, but it is Dawn Ledet, and I am a self-trust strategist. And we'll talk a little bit more about what that means. But I'm also a coach, a podcaster, and an author. And I help entrepreneurs, which are usually creatives or coaches or service professionals. I help them create successful business fueled by self trust because that really is the strategy that makes every other strategy work. And I know this from coaching thousands of humans over 6,000 sessions and, um, and doing a real deep dive into my own work. And I've uncovered that it really only takes three things to achieve anything. Are y'all ready for this? You may want to write it down. It's so simple, but it only takes three skills to achieve anything. And that's to make decisions, follow through on those decisions, and then have your own back on the other side. And the piece of having your own back is evaluating for data, not drama, and celebrating everything, the lessons, the wins, the resilience you build, and using that to propel the very next best decision, follow through, and having your own back. And this is what I call it when we fuel that by self trust. I call it your self trust cycle of success because that's how we can start moving forward. So I have so many awesome questions that you guys have submitted, but I'd love for you that are in the room now to unmute yourself and tell me what's going on for you. What's something that I can answer for you, unblock, look at what's the next best move. Where can we get clear today? Hi, Jane.
Yeah. I'm actually, yeah, I'm actually trying to write the epilogue of my second memoir. I just finished publishing a book of poetry, and it's about, I think that one of the challenges I've had is being seen. And
Mm,
also now, since this is about doing 12 Ironman distance events in my 40s,
yeah.
I'm a wise woman. And so, how can I be able to go from writing about that to celebrating where I'm at now? Because I'm now 79. So, I'm retired and all this other shit. And
Where
so,
do you see that as conflicting?
um, I don't see it as being a conflict. I guess it's about, um, it's more about my being seen.
Okay, and what is
And,
the concern with being seen?
um, I'm not quite sure. It's just, perhaps who is going to listen to me? And I know that I've got something to say, and this has been surprising to me.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's share something. You tell me if this resonates at all. Sometimes when we can't name the reason, like I don't know why being seen is it could just be it's different. It's new. And anytime we do anything new or different, we're literally wired. Our brain is gonna say, whoa, stop, like that's something to be afraid of. That's caution. We need to put a caution sign. And it's beautiful to recognize that, Jane, because if that's simply what it is, your brain doing what your brain's supposed to do, throwing up some red flags, we can answer it with there's really no true danger here. Because when you put yourself out for that many Ironmans, you haven't been seen.
it's true.
So it's not even new. It's just like our brain will give us those obstacles as if they're like true facts. And the root of it is it's just uncomfortable because it's new.
Yeah. It's uncomfortable because it's new and that's been the surprise because publishing my poetry book, which covered 55 years of my life, the response I've gotten is really kind of amazing,
Yeah.
and it still is uncovering it. And so I guess, um, it's trusting that I know the answers and following through on that. And I really like that, making decisions. Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
going to do it,
You just
and
do
I've
it.
done it before.
Exactly. And so what you can do though is support yourself through the discomfort. And this is great for everyone here. If you're making decisions or you're struggling to make a firm decision, because I'll tell you, if your follow through is where you think that you have a problem, often it actually goes back to the decision. If the decision is wobbly, the follow through is harder. It's not even fair for you to expect yourself to do it. Honestly, you're being very unkind to yourself. We have to go back to the decision and really firm it up. And then if we can look at, okay, why is this uncomfortable? Is it just because it's new? How do I support myself in moving forward through it? Because you have all done things. There are things that used to be scary to you that now you would probably do every day at an expert level. And it's good to connect to those things. We are constantly increasing our capacity for discomfort, and we're also constantly moving things from the discomfort realm into our comfort. And so when we can see that, it's how powerful we are, and we don't normally pay attention to that. This is where that self-trust piece comes in so handy. Because when we can connect to that, we're not just focused on the lack, because that's where our brain wants to go, right? What have we not done? What have we not accomplished? What have we not, you know, followed through on? And it ignores all the things that you have accomplished, that you have followed through on, all the things that you've endured and come up again. So I don't know, Jane, like what would be knowing that likely this is more about it being new and different.
Mhm.
It's not actually very new because so we need to tie into that. You have been visible. You have been out there in other ways. We need to give yourself credit for that and show yourself that that's useful in this different endeavor. So, what would be a next move to start stretching that discomfort into maybe moving into that comfort zone eventually?
I look at myself as a storyteller, and I was a past professor of cultural anthropology for like 38 years. So I see myself now as being in this kind of the wise woman state, and what I can share with others that may be in, looking at it's a time of change. How can I help clients that may be moving into their wise woman phase as well?
Oh my gosh, this
And
is
have
so
requests.
beautiful. And it's such a good next best move. This is what I would give you as your strategy. Your next best move is to recognize that this discomfort, putting yourself into this new way of putting yourself out there, is not only in service of your work and the people it will reach, it's also a way to connect to your people because they are going to experience those same things. So if you take that as a lesson of, okay, I'm feeling this discomfort, I bet the people who are going to be into reading this book they're going to know what discomfort is. And so I'm tapping into how I stretch, which by the way, um, I mean, I hate to call out the obvious, but there's nothing comfortable about running triathlons. So you've already proven that you do discomfort, and that's going to be your tool. Your next best move is to do it in a way that honors the fact that you have already mastered, I would say, the discomfort. Your capacity for discomfort, you're just putting that mastery to a different test.
Hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. What else can I answer today? Anyone else want to talk about something, their next best move? What's going on? What's sort of holding you back?
If nobody else is gonna jump in, I wouldn't mind asking you a question.
I would love it.
So, just starting out, so still figuring out everybody says I need a niche. I don't know if it's technically a niche, but, I do have an idea, but it's kind of a big idea.
Tell me.
And so just deciding, do I do the little things first or have the big idea ready to go? And then I wish somebody just say, here's your tech. Use this, this, and this. And instead there's like you have 5 email providers to choose from, and you have 5 of these to choose from, and you have different, it's
And what
there's
would
so
be
many
different if
choices.
someone else told you instead of you just making that decision?
Um, Honestly, I am not sure. I will tell you this, and I used to do this off my husband, it made him crazy. I could ask somebody, I could say, "Okay, should I do this or that?" And I read this as an old suggestion, and I don't know, I'm assuming you've heard it, but basically ask somebody a question which one you should do. And when they answer you, tell how you feel about it. So if you feel like all in, then that was the right answer. And if you don't feel like you're all in, like, I wish you chose the other one, then that makes
Give
up
me
your
an
mind
option.
for me.
I'll tell
But
you what to do. I'm not going to be right.
yeah,
I can tell you, and it will let you notice what's coming up for you. Whether it's like, absolutely not, or, and then that's great. So you scratch that one off the list, and now you have a shorter list. Not a problem. Or if it's like you get waffling off of that, that it means it's not about someone telling you the decision, it's that you're not ready to make it. And that gets to the point where we have to firm our, we have to choose when we're ready. We can't wait to be ready. We have to decide we're ready first, and then we just make firm decisions because you're going to make it's just like with your offer, whether you start the small or you go big, it doesn't matter. I can't even say better than that, honestly. You're going to, as long as you start, you're going to start getting data. You're going to change what you do about 1,000 times, maybe not the core of it, but you're going to phone in. You're going to get better at talking about it. You're going to be more precise. You might even get to a point where you niche down even further. Like, yes, I help, um, women in menopause get through, hormone replacement therapy. And then you may realize actually what you end up talking to people about that you like more is so the food nutrition that supports you through menopause. Like it could change a million different times, and that's not a problem. But you will learn none of that if you stay second guessing whether you start with the big one or the small one.
yeah, because that's all I've done for the last month is collect courses and get information. And I keep telling myself I'm learning, and I'm like, yeah, well, I need to actually do some of, getting that first step is really hard.
That's why it truly is. I don't know if you were here for the beginning, but this is what I try and like just really drill down is it only takes three things to achieve anything. Make decisions, follow through, and have your own back. All the consumption in the world isn't going to get you the data you need. That making decisions, following through, and having your back on the other side of it all. And that's, I mean, it truly is. And it that's the skills it takes to achieve anything and the secret to success. I'll give y'all that now is being willing to be wrong about being willing to be wrong about everything, about what it's going to take, about how long it's going to take, about how uncomfortable it's going to get, about how much discomfort you can handle. James, such a good
That's
example of that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a gem right there. Be willing to be wrong.
that's it.
So if I make a mistake, then
It's great because
yeah,
we don't learn anything from getting it right
right.
time. Have you ever noticed that? We
I,
learn
I'm a yeah,
we
I'm
then
a
just keep repeating
perfectionist.
the thing that we did right the first time, which means we never expand and we grow. So every good, juicy bit of what's going to make your business amazing, what's going to make you so impactful is the moment you get it wrong. The other real gem about being willing to get it wrong is that you stop making getting things wrong a problem. You normalize it as part of the journey. And that's important
Right.
because that's how you support yourself and keep going instead of giving up. Yeah.
I like that. That right there, that just resonated right there. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah. We always
That's
think we have to
awesome.
get it right. We operate. I just wrote something today actually about that, how we operate as if we're getting graded. We want to get an A. Like we have that school mentality and we don't have it. I mean, it's not a problem. There's nothing wrong with that. It makes total sense, right? When you think about how much time we spend between, trying to do what's right for our parents, do what's right in front of our teachers, maybe even with, partners or different things. And so it makes sense, but we have to identify it and intentionally pull ourselves from that. At least we have to take breaks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I love it. Thank you so much.
So what's your next best move?
I am going to start creating, I think.
Around which one?
Seems to be the next thing is get something made and then figure out the best way to present it
Yeah.
and see where it goes from there.
Which one are you going to go with?
I still think I'm going small.
Okay.
I think I'd like something like a quick win or a validation that says I'm on the right track
Uh-huh.
before
What
I
if
put
you
a
just
ton of
decided that? That would be my next best move strategy for you is to firmly decide this is the decision. It's the right decision. It's the
yeah.
one that's going to get me the information I need.
And that would be the smaller. It will validate my idea before I put a ton of hours into the big thing and then find out that nobody really wants it.
Yeah.
So I'm
You
thinking,
could also do that simultaneously, Elaine, if I may give
yeah, well,
like, a
it,
little bit
it
of
builds.
advice. You could start
It
thinking
builds.
towards the new thing and you could start polling. Like, I don't know if what you're thinking about has Facebook groups or different things. You can just go in there and start to see, like, if you were to hear this, what would you think? And like, not trying to push anything, not creating content around it, but really just kind of getting curious about if someone said they could help you with this, would you be interested?
There's thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually some local places that my potential clients tend to hang out. So I'd actually just go talk to them face to face. Say if I built this, would anybody be interested?
Because that's
And throw that out there.
yeah, that's active market research. And if you're doing that while I'm starting to create content for the smaller thing,
Yep.
let's move from consuming to actual like strategy.
Right. I like it.
Amazing. All right,
I
maybe
like it.
then Julia can't join us on, but she said a lot of the time our current situation is good enough. So we don't change our behavior or routine to achieve our bigger goal. So, how, instead of using fear or hitting rock bottom, can we change our productivity? Is it just about being more future focused? It's about being discomfort tolerant. Is the true answer to that. It's about recognizing that, of course, it is safer, more comfortable to just not do it. It's good enough. Everything's fine. Of course, it's good enough. But that's speaking for in the moment you. And it's not even speaking for all in the moment you because it's going to get real uncomfortable after that little moment where you say the word to yourself, it's good enough, everything's fine. I mean, I could just not do this one thing. Because then it's going to start being, why didn't I just do it? And what if I had done it? It turns into regret and sometimes shame. And we just don't do that. And it's such a fact truth. Everything is good enough is true, but not moving forward because you don't want to, or it's just fine the way it is a half truth because there's a desire you're not answering, and that's not fair. So it's either owning it and just making a firm decision. I'll always go back to that a firm decision that I'm just not going to do this right now. It's still a desire of mine, but it's not a current desire. So that the lack of follow through doesn't become a problem. It's this is what I've decided. But also being very honest with yourself, if that is not it, if you really want to move forward, if it is both good enough, because by the way, it can be both. This is, we tend to go in this all or nothing thinking, but it can actually be good enough and you want more. It's a great place to create from. Everything is amazing. It's good enough. It's great. And I'm going to want more. It doesn't make you wrong. It doesn't mean you have to move forward, but it also means you can. So, not doing it from a place of like it needs to change or there needs to be a rock bottom or there needs to be, some sort of fear. There's always going to be discomfort and there's always going to be fear that shows up. You can just bet on in anything. I mean, if you're doing the new thing of even going to, I mean, people often hiring a coach. As soon as they do it, there's fear that pops up because it's new and it's like, oh, what did I do? Is this even going to work? And is all this going to happen? And then you can touch base with the reason why you chose it, and go through and get all the amazing work with your coach. So it's just everything new is going to drum up that it's good enough. I mean, that's like a different flavor. Everyone has different flavors of excuses for not doing things. That's all enough is. It's too hard as one. I've never done it before. There's all different flavors of objections to doing the new uncomfortable thing. All right. Any other questions? I have some we can bring up if y'all are just want to hear some that I hear all the time. So here's one for like the multi-passionates. Actually, no, we had a friend in here that this would have been helpful for. It's really like, how do I pick a niche when I'm passionate about a lot of things? And the truth is, you just decide. And it's it's recognizing that the fear of choosing the wrong thing is as if it can be a wrong. That's just some more of that all or nothing, right or wrong thinking. And we really want to get to a point where we can see there is really no right niche. There's the one that you're willing to pick and dive into, all in, serving the people, doing the things, and learning from it so that you can evolve and create more. So, oh, yes, Jane.
Oh, I'm going to move on. You've answered my question, and I'm gonna go to another breakout room. So,
Well, it was so good to see you. Have a
yes.
great day. Yeah. All right, so here's another one. I know someone that's going to be watching this recording is definitely going to need to hear it. How do I stop sabotaging? And this actually goes to Julia's question. How do I stop sabotaging my business and finally prioritize it? So the first thing is to quit calling it sabotage. When we place those labels on ourselves or the work we do, we actually create a stopgap. It's really hard to fix yourself when you define yourself as someone who sabotages. You don't need to be fixed. There's nothing wrong with you. So it's nice to one, just recognize choice. Everything we call sabotage is just choice that we didn't like, choice that didn't align with what we wanted to do, that didn't align with our goals. So we can drop the whole sabotage rhetoric and instead own choice. Doesn't that seem easier to change, right? So much easier than trying to go and dig and deep. And why am I sabotaging myself? And what else is going on here? All we have to do is choose different. It's great. We don't have to beat ourselves up for the choices we already made. We don't have to go and find some underlying big secret problem with ourselves because it doesn't exist. So we end up going on this fishing expedition in a pond with no fish. And boy, does that take up a lot of time and energy and money. So it really is to stop defining it as sabotage, start owning it as choice, and recognizing that you can change it when you're ready. So that's it. And then, of course, always getting the support you need in order to keep making those decisions, following through, and having your own. Um, Here's another question that comes up. How do I stop procrastinating and get my business off the ground? So again, procrastination is another one of those labels, and it has everything to do with comfort tolerance and recognize and firm decisions. That's the two main things to procrastination is we haven't made the firm decision to do it, which is what sets us up. Wobbly decisions lead to wobbly follow through every. So if we go back to the decision point and we firm that up, we make follow through easier. Once the decision is firm, if follow through is still not happening, you're still experiencing procrastination. Again, it's choice. Procrastination is a label that we can just define as choice. I chose not to do that when I said I would. I chose to do this. And again, that takes off the I need to go and fix myself. It's just I need to change my decision. I need to change my choice. Just such a powerful place to be and so much more empowered And so when we do that, then the in the moment follow through, if the decision is definitely firm, you know that that's not a problem. I actually have a free thing if you want to go to the selftrustcoach.com, or actually in the workbook. It's in the workbook you'll get. And it's called Decide and Do. And it's a 10-minute guide along with a 5-minute audio. And you can go, there's a flow chart in there that tells you how to see if your decision is firm and how to firm it up if it's not. But what you want to do is, if that's the decision is firm, now it's followed through, you're still not doing what you want to do, then it's just strategy. Let's look at, is there a better time of day to do this? Is there a better way to spread it out? Is there a better day of the week to work on this? Is it that I'm just uncomfortable because it's new? We've talked about that a lot. There is part of us that just is going to feel uncomfortable when we're stretching ourselves, when we're growing. It's not a sign of a problem, it's a sign of growth and being on a path for reaching the next level. Always going to be uncomfortable. So, if that's the case, we want to create comfort plans. That's something we do at the Self Trust Coach. And it's just deciding intentional comfort, because our habit comforts lead us away from our goals. It's not that there's anything wrong with them. I have clients who their habit comforts are going for a run, who I myself would go and take my dogs for a walk or go run to get iced coffee. Not a problem. These are not bad things. Go check emails. It's just that they don't keep you moving forward towards your goal. So we have to create intentional comforts that keep you in the spot of doing what you're going to do. So they could be things like putting on uplifting music, or if some people really are um, empowered by fresh scents. So, like lighting an invigorating candle or just standing up at their desk, and maybe moving your body a little bit. I like to just lean back and roll my shoulders down. That really like settles me in. So it's creating, or going to get my favorite beverage, like crushed ice and a straw, metal straw, and all of that is what my intentional comforts for. Or so if I don't want to do something that I plan to do, which means I really do want to do it, it's just in the moment I don't want to do it, then that's what I do, is pull out one of my intentional comforts so that I am supporting myself. I am honoring that it's uncomfortable, also honoring my bigger picture, my future self, the me that wants to accomplish this goal. So I'm just going through some questions now. If you have any questions, if you want to unmute, please feel free to ask me. We've talked through a couple of people of their next best move, and I'd be happy to talk about your next best move if you want. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going through questions just to support those that are going to be watching this recording. So let's see. Okay, visibility without burnout was another question. So let's go. What's your favorite visibility hack beyond just posting on social? Mine is guesting on other people's podcasts and having people guest on my podcast. Probably would have been my favorite. I just started doing that in the last year, and it's like borrowing other people's audiences. And so you're getting in front of people that you never would have gotten in front of before, likely. And it's organic. It's awesome conversations, getting to know these amazing humans that have top-rated podcasts. And it's really helped to grow my podcast, which is now in the top 10% globally. So that's really fun. So my other one was visibility, was just to join Facebook groups and really engage, but really not in a way of trying to tell people necessarily what I do, but just to engage in naturally what I do, because I've been doing this for so long and I can't stop talking about creating success through the strategy of self trust and the 3 skills it takes to achieve anything. It naturally comes through. And so I've been able to meet some amazing people and also gain more visibility that way, in a way that feels organic and natural and totally me. So, um, let's see. Oh, here's one. So this one is gold, especially if you're getting seen but not getting sales. How do I move from increased visibility to paying clients? Yeah. So I love this because it shows that there are different levers to pull, right? Sometimes we want to throw everything out when we're not. Like we and have an offer out there and they say it's a freebie and we have it out there. No one's taking you up on it. And often we're like, "Ugh, no one cares about this." And we decide that that's what's broken. When the truth is, there's so many more levers to pull. It could be that how you're talking about it, where you're talking about it, who you're talking about it to is not clear or not clear enough, which believe me, we're constantly honing our messaging. We're constantly learning from what people engage with more. What am I seeing? Do people engage more with reels? Do they engage more with static posts? Funny enough, for me, static posts do better on Facebook for me, but reels on Instagram and kind of a combination on LinkedIn, to be honest. So it's really learning from the data. I will always go back to the data. We have to evaluate for data, not drama. So the data is going to say whether, okay, if no one is engaging with it, then it can't be the freebie itself because no one's gotten it yet. So maybe we play around with what do we call it? Maybe we play around with how we describe it. Maybe we play around with um, the pain point that it solves, because likely it solves a couple, right? So we really want to do work on finding out what those different levers are. If you are getting lots of people coming to visit your landing page, but no one's signing up, then that's where you have some opportunity. You can double down on where you're putting it out there and how you're talking about it, and you can start to engage with people more. But your work is on the landing page or wherever you're getting people to sign up. It's amazing. So that's where you focus. Maybe you change an image, or maybe you change the title there. Is it matching what you have out there? If people are signing up, but they're not consuming it, maybe there's something in the delivery. There's a lot of different things that we can look at before we just throw things out. So that's always really good to look for the depth and not to just throw things out, but to learn from what the little parts, the little pieces. All right. Here's another one. And this is a good one for the idea rich, but offer wobbly folks. So, how do I know what's worth charging $1,000 versus $5 a month? So, you want to know what is it about your product? What feels good to you? What feels like a no-brainer? If you take out of what you're trying to make, I think a great rule of thumb I'll offer is, what would you be like this way over delivers? If you charge 1,000, would you be able to say, absolutely, this is worth $5,000 and I'm only charging one? If you were charging $50, would you say, gosh, this is worth $1,000? I'm only charging 50. We want to separate worth from viability, from how we sell it. Now, you can sell lots of things for various different dollar amounts. As we know, there's like a million coaches out here and we all charge different things. There's no like right price, to be honest. It's just making sure, excuse me, that the value is there, particularly in your mind, and then that it translates well to the client so that they see the value too. If it's easy for them to see the value in it, then it will sell. All right. Hey, okay. Oh, trying to talk partnerships. Here you go. So someone asked, how do I? Sorry, I just lost it. Okay, time to talk partnerships because referrals don't happen by accident. So this question was, how can I find JV partners who actually refer people not just say they will. So this is joint venture partnerships for anyone that's not familiar. That's what a JV partner is. And it's where you actually work with someone else. Maybe you offer your product through their email list, or maybe you'll do a webinar together, and then they also send to their people. It's it's just again talking about really making it valuable. What would be a no-brainer? Like, if it's just, I'm gonna give you, 10% of $10, that may not be compelling to your partner. So, it's talking to your partners, um, being clear about it, and then also having more, because that's another lever you can pull as well. So, if you're not getting what you need, it's looking at the data. Is there more reach available through it? Or do I just need to have more JV partnerships? That might be the other answer too. And am I making it truly valuable? Am I making it to these people? Is it what they want? You may think it's really valuable, but it's in the eye of the person that is going to be doing it. And it has to be really compelling, because not only are they going to be selling their own stuff, it has to fit in really well. That's another thing that I would say. What I've found with joint venture partnerships is making sure it's not a competitive. It's a really nice, like almost your offer fills a gap of their offer, right? So, for instance, I do all high level one on one coaching and mentoring. So, I mentor coaches, and I also have one on one coaching. And it's like executive level. These are you're an owner, you're a coach who has their own business, you're an entrepreneur, a creator who is monetizing through their business. And this is strategic one on one. But I have a joint venture partnership with someone who does more group and membership, more community based. So when I have a client who that's what they're craving, or someone comes to me and that's what they're craving, I have someone that I can refer them to. That will really help, and vice versa. When they're looking for some elite, high level, strategic one-on-one support, I'm the person they're going to send them to, right? All right. Let's get to see, how do I stay productive and creative while juggling too many tasks? This is an amazing question. So, productivity and creativity are choices, but they also can flourish in set environments, right? So, it's setting yourself up for success, is what I would say. It really is making firm decisions. I can't say this enough. Firm up the decision to prioritize it, follow through on it, and learn from that follow through. Not to judge yourself, but honestly to say, okay, I didn't do it during that time, and here's why. I chose not to, but here's why. Not to look for excuses, but to look for data. Okay, am I making excuses, and how do I support myself? That might be through a comfort plan to keep going even when it's uncomfortable, instead of making excuses or pulling yourself away. Or maybe it truly doesn't work at that time of day or in that amount of time block. I have had many times where I used to set a full day of work, and I just don't work great that way. I work awesome in 2-hour blocks. So now I set, and some tasks are better in 30-minute blocks. So it's really learning from yourself. And that's the best advice I can give you for maintaining productivity and creativity, is to find ways to support yourself, not try and force yourself into a box of how it's supposed to look, how you think other people do it. Find what works best for you. Experiment with time blocks, times of day, days of the week, and breaks in between, and play with what works for you so that you can decide, because that is the way to do it. So, yes, you have too many tasks. Maybe some of those have to be put down, by the way. it's good to do a task audit because sometimes we're doing things repeatedly out of habit. So if you can look at one quick way to do this is to really map out what are my priorities, what are my goals, and how does my calendar reflect? And oftentimes our calendars don't reflect the goals that we or the life that we want, what we found important. We have stacked on so many things that actually don't put us in that direction. And so it's gonna be uncomfortable, of course, because we're gonna have to drop some things. There's something called intentional neglect. And it doesn't mean you're being neglectful. It just means you're deciding like this doesn't get as much time as it used to, at least for this period of time, so that I can move towards my goal. Being really intentional and deliberate and supporting yourself through the discomfort, because that is key. The only way to achieve your goals is you. And if you're not taking good care of yourself, if you're not supporting yourself through the discomfort, if you are not making firm decisions, following through on them, and having your own back through data evaluations for data, not drama, celebrating your increased capacity, your wins, your lessons. If you are not doing those things, then it's going to be really hard to achieve anything. We have to simplify it. We have to become more intentional. So that is the way to go. And look, if you're just jumping in, I want to just say again, I'm Dawn. I've coached thousands of leaders and created tools like I've mentioned here, the success state calculator, the comfort plan, um, and the self-trust fueled cycle of success to help executives, coaches, entrepreneurs stop overthinking and start moving. We can't talk about all of these skills and strategies it takes to achieve anything, which is make decisions, follow through, and have your back, fueled by self trust, being willing to get it wrong. Can't talk about any of that without also addressing mastering your inner dialogue, because that is our greatest influencer. No matter how much you're consuming out there, no matter how many books you're reading, how many experts you're listening you to know that your inner dialogue, your self talk is guiding you, whether it's something that you actively hear or it's just running in the background. We have to get intentional about that. That is the other key piece to follow through. It's what makes it even more uncomfortable if we start making those excuses like, it's fine, I'm good enough already. Um, and we don't answer them, or when we start to hear it as if it's a bully or a victim or a judge, this is where we start to create more disconnect and more fracturing of our self trust. And what we really need more than anything is a united front. We're going to come up against challenges. We're going to come up against discomfort. We can't do amazing things without that. And so we have to have our own united front towards addressing those things, to tackling them. We're trying to tackle them from a fractured state, from battling our own internal thoughts and our own doubts and our own insecurities. It makes it really hard to go out there and encounter, address, and overcome and move through the external obstacles that we're going to come up against. So that is why we have to learn how to master our own inner dialogue. I wrote a book about it. It's the quickest read ever. If you want to check it out, it's like 40 pages, and it's a really practical and really pragmatic. And it moves us away from that talk about affirmations. Please don't say affirmations to yourself if you don't believe them. It is just like lying to yourself, which again creates more fracturing. It creates less self trust. It does not create better relationship with yourself. If someone was constantly saying things to you, lying to you, I mean, how would you feel about it, right? And so we don't think about that when it comes to affirmation. It's so I do not suggest that, obviously. So my book is not going to be about saying flowery things to yourself. It is not about ignoring or arguing with or changing your thoughts. I don't want you to change your thoughts. I want you to have a better relationship with them. Because if you understand, I mean, everything is better from relationship, right? Rules are better through relationship. Structure better when there's relationship involved. And so that is the key here is to understand. So we walk through, there's the origin of your thoughts. We all have origins. There's the simple scientific motivational triad, which is just the part of our brain that is always going to want to seek comfort, avoid pain, and conserve energy. That's that piece that even no matter how amazing it is, if we want to do something new, we feel that discomfort. That's that. If- But then there's true origin of things that we adopted or were placed on us, or that we even created out of some sort of safety mechanism or protection that we sometimes never question. And so there are people's voices that can be the origin to our inner dialogue. There are things that we've heard, like I said, or imparted. Then we have to look at the lens through which we're seeing things, and that's generally through, you know, a belief or not belief in yourself or in what you're doing. And so when we look at that, hi, oh, is it true? Yes, awesome. Nice to meet you. What are
Nice to meet
anything
you
that
too.
we can talk about today in here? We have come up with the next best move for a couple of people. Another place that we can focus is on I am make decisions, follow through, and have your own back. Those are the three skills that I tell people. If you fuel them with self trust, you literally can achieve anything. So, is there anything we want to look at for what's going on with you?
Yeah, definitely. So the thing is, for me, I get very excited about different ideas. So then, after a short time, I have like several half finished projects hanging in the air, and I haven't really followed through on them. And then I also tell myself, look, I'll wake up early, and I don't follow through. Uh,
Huh?
I sort of like wake up late. Okay? So I mean, that's basically the thing. So I mean, I don't really like breaking promises to myself, but I think that's what I'm doing because I take on a whole bunch of things. Yeah, and
Yeah,
sometimes I'm not able to hold.
there, there's nothing wrong with taking on a lot of things, but it's important to be honest about what you can give it, the time you can give it. So really being clear about like, here's all these things I want to do. And then mapping out like how much time do I want to do one at a time? Do I want to map a specific amount of time to each one? Here's the thing about follow through. It's going to be wobbly if the decision isn't firm. So we often think it's because we're not motivated enough or we just can't trust ourselves or that we are, somehow just people who don't follow through, which is a little bit of how you're talking about yourself right here. But we can go back to the decision. If the decision isn't firm, then it's not fair for you to expect yourself to follow through on it. If you're making that decision as if I think about getting up early, or I might get up early, or it's probably a good idea if I get up early. Those aren't firm decisions.
Yeah, mostly for me, it's like look for a good idea. That looks like a good idea, and I say that several times. And
So really, it's just firming up the decision, and that is a choice in itself. Now, I have, if you get, I think it's in my in the workbook, the freebie. If not, you can go to the selftrustcoach.com. But I have a guide and a 5-minute audio. I love small bite-sized things. If you ever listen to my podcast, you'll know they're like 8-minute segments, but I it's called Decide and Do. And I would recommend checking that out because you'll be able to see, is my decision firm? There's a whole flow chart. And if it's not firm, how do I firm it? And you can follow that to decide because again, it's not even kind to yourself to expect you to follow through if you're not making the firm decision. Firm decisions lead to it's easier to follow through. Not firm decisions, it's wobbly follow through always. So,
yeah, so I have one question, which is like, what about if basically if you make a decision, say like I decide I'm going to do this thing, but then like you sort of like check for the outcome. Like say you say go for a social media platform to promote your business, something like that, and then like you don't see results, and then it's very easy to sort of like backtrack on the decision, or even like exercise or something like that. You started, and then you're not seeing any heavy significant change, and then you'll just walk back on the decision.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater? That's what I'm going to tell you here. So what that means is if you are on a particular channel and it's not giving you the results you want, it doesn't mean the channel's not good. It doesn't mean you're not good. It doesn't mean your message isn't good. It means that you can pull some levers. Maybe it's trying static posts over reels. Maybe it's trying stories over static posts. It's really playing with it. And then maybe I tried this image and I tried this heading. It's really that is what so I'll say it again. The only thing it takes to achieve anything, make decisions, follow through, have your own back. The have your own back piece is evaluating for data. And that means looking for, okay, what didn't work about this? No one engaged. Okay, let me post it again with a different image. Let's see. Let me read it and do it as an audio and with the same thing. See if anyone responds. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? Stop posting this in different formats. It's fine.
So basically, you're saying experimentation and tweak,
Absolutely.
not necessarily just jumping into something completely different, but just
No, because that's when you feel like you're constantly starting over. And that's when you start to judge yourself and you start to get into those like nothing's working pity moments, which, we're all going to have pity moments. I have them. I just have gotten to where I allow them. I'm like, I'm going to give myself 3 minutes to just complain and cry. Right. But it's being more intentional and recognizing that absolutely things are not going to go right all the time. In fact, that is the other secret to success is being willing for things to go wrong because we learn very little, if anything, from things going right. If everything goes right from the beginning, you just keep repeating it and you don't evolve and you don't grow. But when things go wrong, you actually have an opportunity to explore and see what about this did work. There's always something, even if it's, I showed up, I posted it. That's what worked. What worked was me. Here's what didn't work. No one engaged. What can I do about that? Let me try it this way now. It's on repeat. Make decisions, follow through, have your own back. That means evaluate, means celebrate your ability to go out there and try it again and again in different ways and learn from the data. The win. So what's your next best move? Let's come up with something. Which one you going to pick? Or 3 or 12? I don't know what.
Yeah, so I think that the actual idea of being a firm in your decision is a good starting point. I think I'll start there, like being firm with my decision. Also the other thing that happens to me is I get bored like part of the way. I don't know if you've seen this, but like I'm sort of working on working through a course, for instance, by one particular course provider, and then like I get a bit bored partway through, so I'm like, let me just do something else, and then I switch. So then I feel bad about myself later because I just got distracted, or even like an exercise regime. You sort of like start with say a yoga routine, and then you get bored, and then you do something else. Like
Yeah, you're acting as if bored's a problem instead of just part of it. Board's a part of it. Board's a part of running a business. Board's a part of going through school. Board's a part of having children. Literally, there's always going to be a time.
everything. So exactly. So I think it's just like being more firm with my decision. Say, look, I can be bored and I can still keep going.
Now, here's the other thing. It doesn't mean you have to push yourself through. This is where we learn from ourselves. So when do you notice you get bored? Let's get the data. Is it after 3 hours? So, okay, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to set 3-hour time blocks with a break in between. That when you're working with yourself, that's how we build self-trust is we're not saying, okay, I'm bored, I have to stop because bored's going to come. So we both normalize bored and we support ourselves through it. The self-trust coach, we build comfort plans because our habit comforts are to step away, even if they're amazing things like going to work out, going to feed your friend. I mean, who knows? But we need intentional comforts that actually keep us in the place and move forward. So we're honoring that we're uncomfortable and we're still getting what we want done. The other piece is to work with yourself. You don't have to, if 6 hours in a row of studying doesn't work for you, do it in 3-hour blocks and test it. Do it for 1 week and, whatever you test, blocks at a time, and then evaluate at the end of the week. What did I really like about it? Where could I have stayed there longer? Where could I have stepped away a little bit sooner? And use that to learn from yourself so that the next week you build a schedule that actually works all of that in. It's not moving through the cookie cutter way of how we thought things were supposed to go. We operate from this good student mindset, and we're not that anymore. We can be good students, of course, but also we are people who have unique capacities and can work in some ways work better for us than others. There are people who stand up at their desk all day. I would never do that. Like, thinking about what works for you. I don't like to work more than 2 hours at a time, honestly. So I always break up my work pieces in 2-hour blocks with at least 15, 20 minutes in between for myself. So it's learning from yourself and supporting it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so your next best move, firm up your decision and start to normalize boredom and start to look at how you work best so that you can build a schedule that doesn't lead to you abandoning your goals and then judging yourself for not following through. Awesome. Amazing. All right. Anyone else want to talk about what their next best move will be? I can go
I'll
back.
talk.
Yeah, great. Tammy, thanks.
I'm with a group of 3 other ladies. One of them's on here too, Dana. And we've started a new coaching group. And I know for myself, I'm just having a lot of self-trust issues. I think it's I don't know if it's that fear of putting myself out there.
Mhm.
And it's been a while since I've coached. So just feeling unsure of myself,
Yeah. That is,
perfectionism kicking in.
yeah, that's real, right? It's always the thing. I will say I coach, I mentor coaches. That's part of my business. And I've been doing that for years. I used to be an instructor within a certification. And I can say that it does affect with your not having confidence in your actual coaching, it affects the other things. So, sometimes we try and fix the symptoms instead of the root. And so do what you need to do to get your confidence back in your coaching. Whether that's just reminding yourself how awesome you are and that you know what you're doing. Because friends, what I tell every coach that comes in a mentor with me, you're already an amazing coach because you want to serve people, you're already doing it, and that's it. You already are. If you want to hone your skills and, come up with some, new tools, great. But don't lose your confidence for lack of practice. It didn't go anywhere.
That's true.
But if it feels good to you, start coaching each other or get some family and friends to coach. Do what it takes for you to remind yourself that you have the skills to do it.
Okay.
Because that's the other thing. And that would be my next best move for you because the rest of it may just fall into place. After that.
Yeah, and I did make an email today that I want to send out to some people. I'm offering a few free coaching sessions to people I know just to
Love that.
get back into it.
Yeah. I have a friend who's going through a different certification now, and she needed hours and offered free coaching. I'm like, yeah, I want that from you. Absolutely. So use that too as just a boost for yourself. Not that you need it, but anything you can, really look for the evidence of, because the more you tell yourself the story of I haven't coached in a while or, I'm losing confidence, your brain is really good at confirmation bias. All of our brains are, and it will just spend all day telling you how you're so right. You're so right. You're not going to be good enough. So you have to tell the rest of the story. And that's in my book, Master Your Inner Dialogue. our greatest influencer is our self-talk. And so we have to not, please do not start doing affirmations. I mean, unless you believe them, then that's amazing. That is not what I teach because it's just lying to ourselves if we don't believe it. And that actually erodes self-trust. It doesn't build it. So we need to not even change our thoughts. We have to have a better relationship with them. We have to understand them more and we have to know that we don't have to believe them for one. And also we can engage with them. And sometimes the best way, I give you 2 invitations for any that come up for you. I used to have one that would come up all the time, and it seemed like really funny, like, what's wrong with you?" It was very passive aggressive, but then your brain goes and starts looking for what's wrong with you. That's not a good exercise you wanna give your brain, right? So, we wanna engage with it, and now, like, my answer, I don't need that thought to go away, but now I'm just like, nothing, but, I do feel a little off today, or absolutely nothing. Or I used to say every now and then everything and nothing because I just thought it was funny. But if you engage with it, it diffuses the sting of,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. So do that. Second piece, it's going to be uncomfortable. You're doing something amazing. So you have to normalize the discomfort. It's just going to be uncomfortable. Of course it is. In fact, you can use it as a symbol that you're doing something meaningful. Because doing the mundane, it doesn't really matter, it feels like nothing. Feels like stepping into the shower because you always do.
That's true. I need to remember getting out of my comfort zone puts me more into that zone of genius.
Yeah. Yes. So normalize the discomfort and realize that you're increasing not only your capacity for discomfort, but you're also moving discomfort into your comfort bubble eventually. Like right now, it's on the rim, right? Some of this it's not like outside. If we think of the comfort and discomfort bubbles, I think comfort's in here, discomfort's around it. There's an outer rim that is that like fight or flight, fear, like no, paralyzed, neuro. Yeah. You don't want to be there. You're not trying to force it. But there's the discomfort of just doing new things of like, this is scary. This is like, I'm putting myself out there. What if it doesn't work? It's, coming from those types of thoughts. That is like discomfort that you can absolutely care for yourself through and still move forward anyway. And eventually that discomfort's going to end up smack dab in the middle of the comfort zone.
True.
Good stuff. I think some of our thing is we came from a group being together that was a program, and the ladies were there and they would come, and our boss brought them in through challenges and such. And we were just kind of there in the group. We were teaching, we were mentoring. Eventually, we started coaching. But this is us stepping away because she ended her business. And this is us going on our own.
Love it.
So it's not just this already prepared thing for us.
Right.
We're being big girls and we're moving on down
There
the
you
road.
are.
And so, yeah, so our brains are like, well, I don't know, ladies.
So for that, I would offer you, that's where firm decisions are going to come in. It's going to be easier if you just say like, this is what we're going to do. It doesn't mean it's going to be right.
Yeah.
Like we have to get out of that whole right or wrong. Like a result that is unwanted doesn't make the original decision wrong because it's going to give you doubt and it's going to inform you on the next decision. But when we like circle in whether it's a right or wrong decision, we never get that data. And so we never find out.
Yeah.
But we have to be willing to get it wrong. It's the number one thing to success is being willing to be wrong about how long it's going to take, what it's going to take, how uncomfortable it's going to be, your capacity for discomfort. You have to be willing to be wrong about all of it.
Yeah.
So just firm decisions. That's going to be for like your next best move would be to like decide what are the firm decisions we need to make and start following through on and know it's going to be uncomfortable. Find ways to support yourself and do it anyway. We do comfort plans in the self-trust coach. So you're putting those intentional comforts into place for yourself. For me, it's things like it's so simple, like putting your shoulders back and down and leaning back, I like crushed ice in like a metal straw in a glass, like things that are just gonna a certain song on in the background or a scent. Something that's gonna honor that, okay, this is uncomfortable, I'm taking care of myself and I'm gonna keep moving forward.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We always say baby steps. Even if you're just taking baby steps, you're still moving forward, right? So I know we can do it. It's just,
Yes.
you know,
You're already doing it. That's the
we're
other
already
thing.
doing it.
You
Yeah.
have to own it. Like you have to own it because the decisions are gonna be easier to make firm if you own that this is we're already doing it.
Yes.
We've
Yes.
been doing it is the talk we've been
Yeah,
doing
I
it. Now
like
we're
that.
just doing it in a different container.
Yeah, yeah. I like that, Tammy. That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a
Yeah.
good one, Dawn. Thank you.
absolutely. Y'all are doing I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
We're excited. We're like, let's go. We're like, we're trying to wrap up the last few things with the construction of our website, our page and groups and all that stuff. And it's like, let's go. We're ready. So
Yes, that's what you have to keep
looking
reminding
forward
yourself.
to it.
We're ready. We're ready. Keep reminding yourself we're ready because, of course, whenever we're doing new things, your brain's going to offer up all these obstacles. Like, you're not ready. You've never done this before. And it's not, they're all not true. Like, and so what? There's lots of things you never did before that now you do. Again, you've like moved things from outside your comfort bubble into it. And you're going to continue to do that for the rest of your life and in this business.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you so much,
Thank
Dawn.
you. You are so welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Becky or Chris, can I answer your questions? We want to look at what your next best move is. We're getting lots done here today.
All right. So when I tuned in, you were talking about normalizing discomfort, which I
Yeah.
guess, and you also mentioned you wrote a book. I'm a big book reader. So is that in the notes somewhere of this event?
The book there, one of my books that I was talking about is Master Your Inner Dialogue. It's like, you don't even have to be a big reader, Chris. It's like 40 pages. It's really short. It's very pragmatic. It's a guide to understanding your inner dialogue. So that's that piece. The normalizing discomfort is really just something we have to do. If you want to be successful, we have to one, we have to be willing to be wrong. That's going to be my number one. I'm never going to that's my number one tip to success is being willing to be wrong about what it's going to take, how long it's going to take, how much discomfort you're going to feel and your capacity for discomfort. Within that, I would say that's the biggest one to never underestimate because you have a capacity for discomfort greater than you probably even. But yeah,
Yeah. So you're going to tell me to do like the ice plunge, or you don't really go there?
definitely not going to ever tell you to do that. I'm also never going to tell you to say affirmations. It's like lying to yourself. It's the quickest way to fracture yourself. I want you to have a united front. So that's the point of the book of Master Your Inner Dialogue is when we are constantly battling ourselves and calling ourselves names like procrastinator and perfectionist, like that's the worst thing that we dropped in the world was these labels because people have used them as reasons to define themselves incapable of what they want to achieve. And the truth is they're just convenient labels, they're choice. They're really choice masked under these like defining labels. You don't need to fix yourself. You just have to choose differently. That's all it is. It's uncomfortable to do new things, especially meaningful, big things. It's always going to be uncomfortable. It's never going to feel good. So we have to get normalized that, of course, this is uncomfortable and care for ourselves through that discomfort. And that means small things because what our habit comforts are when we feel uncomfortable, our habits are to go walk away, to go work out, to go answer emails, to go play with our kids, whatever it is. It's pulling us away from the task. We need to put intentional comforts in place that keep us on task. That could be anything from